'Twas the eve before Christmas. The shoppers and passengers hurried through the town to see their loved ones in due time, to make last-minute purchases, and to be home in time for a Christmas Eve feast. Gordon, the big blue engine, stood proudly at the big station. He scowled, waiting, for he wished not to be late. But he was to fear not, for Edward puffed in.
Pray tell, what kept you?
Inquired the big engine with much pointedness towards Edward.
Season's greetings to you as well, Gordon.
Don't be making wisecracks.
Well, I have gone ahead and cleared the line for your next journey out on the main line, which will be in a few minutes or so.
Responded Edward, who was curt but courteous all the same.
I see.
You know, a thank you is what most engines would say.
I am not most engines. I will thank you for remembering that.
Ah, so you haven't completely forgotten your manners then?
The Victorian engine cracked a small smile.
Oh, pa! Don't you have somewhere else to be? Go heckle someone else, why don't you?
A heckle? Oh, my. Perhaps I shouldn't have come to forewarn you of the dangers that lie ahead.
Danger? What could this possible calamity be?
Oh, but for you see, I was under the impression that I was not to heckle
What?
per your instruction.
Responded Edward with as much innocence as he could muster. Gordon's face, on the other hand, twitched.
Balderdash! You better begin to heckle.
Heckle who?
Heckle me for crying out loud if you must.
Oh, well, very well, if you insist.
I do so most earnestly insist.
Thank you. Right, now then. I merely wanted to tell you about the snow that's piled up by the tunnel past Thomas's Junction. You'll want to check your speed and not needlessly make any more racket than necessary.
I see. Is there anything else? Must guarantee that my passengers arrive safely, for it is my responsibility, nay, my duty. Edward, I could not, and will not, fail in upholding it. Not at this time of the year.
There was a moment's pause in the conversation. For all of Gordon's flaws, a sense of duty in ensuring that his passengers arrived in a timely and safe manner was certainly not one of them.
No, that is all. Nothing out of the ordinary. The snow out east beyond the Middle Main Line station isn't much of a concern, for there is less snow to speak of.
Good, as it should be. Pretty stuff snow is, but it can be so easily be the culprit of snuffing out the life and light of a poor unexpectant.
Any peer thoughts?
Humph. What did you like to know?
Well, I did not pose the question forth to merely amuse myself.
There was another pause as Gordon considered the old blue engine's words.
Edward, how is Viscount Harwick? I heard his health is failing him. The light from within him fading, so to speak.
Viscount Harwick? You mean as in the first chairman of the railway board?
Well, unless you know another Viscount Harwick, please enlighten me.
No, I'm afraid not. Alas, it is true. His health is greatly failing him. Honestly, I do not blame him. After the death of his youngest son, his only daughter, and son-in-law, I too would be overcome and stricken with grief myself.
Dreadful business. Though, I thought young Eleanor was merely missing. She was a nurse after all, so surely the Red Cross...
The imposing big blue engine's voice trailed off as Edward took its place.
No, I'm afraid not. It was very recent that it was confirmed that she had died. She'd been buried in an unmarked grave somewhere over the continent.
Disgraceful! How dare they bury a member of the noble family here on Soda in a regular unmarked grave as if she was a common criminal? She died as a nurse in honor of need of our king and country.
Gordon, please, at ease. Nobody did it to spite anyone. You've got to understand that wars at a time like this break up lines of communication.
Don't we know it?
And besides, Gordon, a memorial service will be held in St. Louis Cathedral for her, sometime at the start of the new year. I believe the intent of the Bregaby is to transport her remains back home to the family mausoleum, and then to hold a small private family gathering.
How dignified and proper. Shame so many people are denied such a proper, respectful burial in the most recent conflict.
Indeed. But look on the bright side, Gordon. We still have Christmas and a happy new year to look forward to.
You are, of course, quite right, Edward. We'll most boldly look towards the new year and embrace it, whatever it might bring with it.
Whilst also not forgetting the lessons learned from the previous year, lest we remember nothing of our failure and successes.
I say, rather eloquently put, but it is 4:05. It's time for me to depart. Thank you, Edward. Have yourself a very happy Christmas.
It pleases me to hear you say that, Gordon.
Pah! Don't act too shocked.
All the same, a happy Christmas, Gordon. And a happy new year to one and all.